Last year, when the Niger State student, the St. Mary student in pupils in Niger State, over 200 were kidnapped. And after a while, the government came out. We all pleaded, we all begged, we all came online and ran, we cried, we asked for help, for people to help, and we called on the government to do their job. But after a while, the government came out and said the pupils have been released. And while we appreciated that the people were released, we thank God that people were released, but we had to ask the question, how were they released? Was it by military action? If it was by military action, it means the terrorists were neutralized and we should be able to see their body. Or were they arrested? If they were arrested, then we should see them being prosecuted and taken to the court to face the wrath of the law. But we didn't say any of this. Then we asked if it was ransom. Because we must understand, Nigerians, that it is not news that the government paid ransom severally. And so nobody said anything. Then people came at me and said, I should just be happy that the people have been released. Does it bother? Does it matter how they were released? Does it matter which process they were used to be released? And all that. And one of the things you can applaud the APC government for is that they are a propaganda government. They are full of propaganda. I am a man that will say it the way it is, regardless of whose horse is God. They are full of propaganda. People attacked me. They said, "Oh, just be happy, man of God. You should just be happy." But you see, just yesterday, you see the document behind there. You see it. Fitch Nigeria, that is Foundational Investigative Journalism, led by Fisayo Toyomba or Fisayo something. Fitch Nigeria released an investigative journalism was carried out, and it was found that the ransom for that release, for the release of those pupils, was 2 billion naira, paid by the Nigerian government to Boko Haram. Initially, they demanded for $7 million. But after much negotiation or so, 2 billion naira, 2 billion taxpayers' money was paid for those children to be released. Isn't that amazing? We have become a joke in this nation. We have become a people of joke. And the government know one thing. One of the things that the government knows is that nobody is held accountable. I think one of the things that gives the government the temerity to do some of the things they do is because they know that nobody holds them accountable. The people that should hold the government accountable are politicking, are being politically correct, are playing ethnic cards, religious cards, bigotry. So the government paid. I'm not the one that invented. It was an investigative journalism. Who carried the money, where it was dropped, to whom it was given, the border where it was, the venue where it was given, everything is indicated there. Go and read it. Go to Fitch Nigeria handle, go and search it. Fisayo's handle is an investigative journalist, and he carried and he published it yesterday. He published it yesterday evening. 2 billion naira was paid. Which serious government that is intentional about ending terrorism pays ransom? You pay ransom to the government. Do you know, and you pay ransom to terrorists? Do you know how much weapon and ammunition 2 billion naira will get the terrorists? Do you know how much weapon it will get them? No. And you want to end terrorism in a nation. You want to end terrorism in Nigeria. You go about telling saying that we are working on it. You are fighting against terrorism. And you are paying 2 billion naira in ransom. The soldiers that are fighting daily, where their lives have been lost, they don't even get quota. They don't get any of those amounts for their allowances of their salary. A soldier's salary, even if you have spent 20 years in the army, 20 years in the army, your salary is not up to 200,000 naira. It's about 150 something, 180 something. 20 years in the army, your salary is not even up to 250,000 naira. But the government can go ahead to pay 2 billion naira to terrorists for the release of those ones. And I guarantee you, one of the things you must understand that they have paid many money like that. Remember the KB State students that were kidnapped? And just like that, we heard that they have been released. How were they released? Was it by military action? So that we can applaud the military men and applaud the government? How were they released? Or was it that the terrorist guys just say, guys, we are time, come and start going? Or was it that the government came and said, boys, how are you doing? How is work over there? Okay, now it's time to release the children. Please release them, let them go back home. How were they released? Ransom was paid. I said it. People attacked me last year. When those of St. Mary's children were released, I said it. That these people pay ransom. People were saying, I shouldn't bother. How do you end terrorism when the government keep paying ransom to the terrorists? We're in soup in this nation. No? 5 things you must understand this morning. Number 1, the mountain in which I'm willing to die on, number 1, is that the insecurity in Nigeria has helped the government. How has it helped them? It has helped the people. It has helped them to bring distraction to the people so that the people are not focusing on them to hold them accountable for bad governance. When was the last time you even had to hold your government accountable for bad governance? No. Everybody is just looking for how to survive now. So it has helped them. It has created distraction. That the APC government that claimed there is no money, that they claim that they are servicing debt. Recently, we saw the vehicle, hundreds of vehicles that the government of Tinubu has purchased to be used for 2027. So the terrorism in Nigeria has helped them to bring destruction to the people so that the people are not focusing on good government to hold them accountable anymore. Another thing you understand, number two, the Nigerian government is fixed on one thing and one thing alone at this time. If it is not on that thing, they don't care, and it is re-election. If it is not concerned election, if it will not help their election, they don't care. One thing you must understand right now is that the Tinubu administration is only fixed on one thing and one thing alone. And they can give anything, they can sacrifice any Nigerian for the election. Because that was what they did when they came in. They were intentional, they were willing to spill the blood of people, to spill the blood of Nigerians. And they got a man that was vying for office who said, grab it, snatch it, and run away with it. Regardless of which method, just grab it and snatch it and run away with it. And now they can sacrifice any Nigerian for the election. You must have that at the back of your mind. Number three, except it is solely by American forces. Except it is solely by American forces to fight insurgency. The Nigerian military will not win the war against insurgency and terrorism in Nigeria and the jihadists. The reason is that they are highly compromised. They will not win the war. The reason is that they are highly compromised. They are compromised and so therefore they cannot win. Except it is an extra body. As long as this Nigerian military continues and remains with their compromise and with their jihadists within their ranks, they will not win this war. I'm telling you that now so that you will know. Number four, Nigerians, especially the ones in the middle belt and in the southern Nigeria, by all means must seek a means of protecting themselves from the jihadists. Nigerians in the middle belt of Nigeria, Nigerians in the west of Nigeria, western part of in the southern part of Nigeria, which means the southeast, the southwest, and the south-south, you must seek a means of protecting yourself. If you depend on the government for protection, I guarantee you, you cry and you cry for nothing. I'm an apostle of Jesus Christ. I bow to no man. I honor men, but I bow to no man. I honor men, but I bow to no man. And I will not be shut up or I will not be cajoled into silence. I'll say it the way it is. Look for means to protect yourself, otherwise you'll die for nothing. The next, finally, get yourself a weapon. I've said this over and over and over again. The religious ones will come and say, I speak too much. I said this and that. I'm an apostle. I shouldn't say that. Whosoever says God will punish you. God will punish you. Because you see, 2 days ago, in Dorowa, Babuji Borkin local government, Dorowa, Babuji Borkin local government, 7 Christians were killed in a local government. 7 Christians were killed 2 days ago. So if I come online and you are telling me that my language, I'm a man of God, I should not say that way. My language is this, my language is that. I say, take this money, God will punish you. Or let me say the way Jesus will say, woe unto you. Because you people are so foolish. You are so foolish that you are not sensitive to what is happening in Nigeria. Get a weapon to defend yourself. 7 men, look at their picture, look at them lying down there. 7 of them, 7 souls, innocent souls, Christians. The genocide by the Fulani jihadists were unalived. And when we keep talking, you think I'm joking. You think I'm wasting my time when I keep talking. God will hold you accountable. Nigerians seek a means to protect themselves. America, there is genocide. Act now.